Hi students, I am Captain R.K. Kumar, working as Marine Faculty in Amet University, a very prestigious university which I am proud to be working for. And my plan today is to give you a series of lectures on a subject which is called ship stability, and to make it as simple as possible. And today happens to be Bharadiyar's birthday. Bharadiyar is one of my favorite poets, and it will be only proper that I salute Mahakavi Bharadiyar and say that whatever applies to ship stability, he has made it apply to the walk of life. Fundamentally, the basic principles is a ship should not be top heavy, a man should not be arrogant. A ship should have humility to face the ocean in spite of all the best of designs, best of planning, best of loading of a ship. The vagaries of weather is something that he has to be respectful for. The same way Mahakavi Bharadiyar says, humility and respect to that fundamental force in nature is required for a stability of life. I think that will be enough of Mahakavi Bharadiyar, because there are volumes of him, but now we will come back to the subject called ship stability. Today I will be talking about fundamentally the movement of the center of gravity of the ship. You all have studied in physics why a ship made of steel floats. Steel is supposed to sink in water, but a ship which is made into a shape like a bucket floats in water, just like any tumbler made of glass. If you can keep it upright, it will float in water, though glass is heavier than water. That was thanks to one man who ran naked called Archimedes, and his principle, Archimedes' principle and law of flotation, is what makes a ship float. So I am not going into the basics of why a ship floats, but what do we have in control as operators of ship? As ship's officers, what is in our control so that a ship remains stable, properly trimmed and upright in still water conditions? And that is the basic objective of this lesson. And at the end of the lesson, you should be able to know how to calculate the center of gravity of the ship after carrying out various loading, ballasting, deballasting and other type of operations. Let us go on to the slides now. So now we go on to the actual lesson starts. So we all know that center of gravity of a body is a point through which its entire weight force can be considered to act vertically downwards. Vertically downwards. The same holds good for a ship. The center of gravity of a ship is that single point from which the entire weight force of the ship will be acting vertically downwards. What is vertically downwards? That is very important. I think I have underlined it there. That is, the weight force will always act in a direction perpendicular to the present water plane of the ship. I will repeat this because this is one fundamental doctrine which you all have to remember as we go further and further in that wonderful subject called stability. And that is, the weight force and the buoyancy force, which we'll be talking about later, both of them will be acting in a direction perpendicular to the existing water plane of the ship, water line of the ship. Buoyancy force will be acting upwards, weight force will be acting downwards. That's the only difference between the two. And what do we have in control? When a ship is built, her structure, her underwater portion and everything has already been defined by the architects, and they have built ships. Most of them well designed, but there have been quite a few cases of badly designed ships. That is why the subject naval architecture is not naval engineering, it is naval architecture. Coming back to stability, as operators of ship, what is in our control? Our control is where am I going to keep the final center of gravity of the ship? Where I am going to keep the final center of gravity of the ship? In the vertical direction, in the athwartship direction, or in the longitudinal direction. We will go on it one by one. Fundamentally, so the only thing which is in our control is to where are we going to keep the center of gravity of the ship? The ship is stable and does not capsize. That basically depends on how high the center of gravity is going to be. The second point, that the ship is properly trimmed. Where am I going to keep the center of gravity of the ship? In the fore and aft direction. And the third thing, where am I going to keep the center of gravity of the ship? In the athwartship direction, that is left to right direction. That will decide how much listing the ship will have in still water condition. What happens during rolling, pitching, corkscrewing and all those 6 dynamic motions is another ball game altogether. We will play with it as we go by. So how do we define the center of gravity of the ship? We measure a position of center of gravity with respect to 3 axes. One axis is the keel, the bottom of the ship. That is known as kg, vertical center of gravity. The other axis is from the aft perpendicular, which the distance from aft perpendicular to the point of center of gravity is called LCG, longitudinal center of gravity. And the third axis is the fore and aft center line of the ship. That means how far is the center of gravity to the left of the center line or to the right of the center line, and that decides whether the ship is going to list or the ship is going to be upright. Having said that, but before that, let us play around with a meter scale. Fundamentally, if you know how a meter scale balances, you will know at least 75% of all your future stability. This scale is balancing here very nicely. Now, I will be asking a couple of questions to you all. I am adding a weight here. Now, what will happen? The scale will tilt down below. Now, in order to balance the scale, what should I do with my finger? Should I move it to the left or back to the center or to this? Just think about it for a moment. So, I move it towards the weight, and the scale perfectly balances. So, what have we learnt now? When you load a weight, the center of gravity of the ship moves from original position in a direction towards the weight loaded, So, I have loaded the weight now. My finger is the center of gravity of the ship. Now, I move the weight. Now, what will happen? Where I have to move a finger? Towards the weight, towards the direction in which the weight has been moved, shifted, the center of gravity will move towards the direction. Let us see. Now the scale is balancing. So what have we learned? The center of gravity of the entire ship moves towards the weight loaded or away from a weight which is discharged, and it moves in a direction parallel to the direction of shifting of weight. If you understand this and how a scale balances, I have one weight hanging here, another weight hanging here, another weight hanging here, another weight hanging here, another weight hanging here. Where is going to be the final? If I can take out all the weights and put it at one single point, that single point is going to be here or here or here or here. That will define the final center of gravity of the ship. The final center of gravity of the ship. If you can understand how a scale balances, you would have understood, as I told you, 75% of even complicated problems in stability. I will not be going into any complicated problems. I will try to keep this as simple as possible, like Mahakavi Bharatiya's poems. Simple verses, as simple as possible. But if you know your basics, what I am going to talk about now, the later part of your stability lessons will be like a game, like a football game or a cricket game, whichever game you like. And then let us now go on to certain. So this slide shows what I talked about with a scale. When you move a weight, the center of gravity of the ship moves in a direction parallel to the direction in which the weight was shifted. When you load a weight, the COG moves directly towards the weight, and when you remove a weight, the COG moves away from the weight. Now we go on to the next slide. I'll start. So the diagram here shows a ship with a center of gravity at G, and there is a small weight where I have shown at this point, Now let us shift the weight. Let's say we are shifting the weight in this direction. Now what will happen to the center of gravity of the ship? What happened in the scale? When you shift the weight in a direction parallel to the weight, in which you have moved the weight. This is the final thing. So I have moved the weight across a distance of d, and the center of gravity moves from G to GF. Can I calculate this distance? Because I know how much I have moved the weight. Center of gravity of the ship is invisible. I mean, it is not at this point, the center of gravity of the ship is there. So that needs to be calculated. So shifting a weight, the center of gravity, the formula is W into D is equal to W into GGF. So in other words, GGF is what we want to know. GGF is W into D divided by W. Now, the next diagram shows shifting a weight upwards. Now, this sketch you have to complete mentally by yourself. What will happen to the G of the ship? Just think on it for about 30 seconds. Complete the picture mentally. I have shifted a weight from here to here. What will happen to the G? Will it move here, 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 here? Which direction? All of you got it? So let us see. On the same formula, W into D is equal to W into GF. So, GGF is what we want to calculate. GGF is equal to weight shifted into distance divided by the total weight of the ship. I have used a new word now, the total weight of the ship. Always remember total and final weight of the ship. Now, we will see how will G move when we are loading a weight. How will G move when we are loading a weight? So, I have loaded a weight W at this location. How will G move? You remember in the scale, I loaded a weight. The scale was balancing here. I have loaded a weight. What did I do? I balanced it here towards a weight loaded, towards a weight loaded. Now, question is that we know, but what will be the quantity of GGF? And that is what is our small challenge. So, what we do now, we have to make certain assumptions to understand this. Just think that you have loaded the weight at the center of gravity of the ship and then you have shifted it to its final position. So, when I load a weight at the center of gravity of the ship, what will happen? The original weight of the ship will be added by the small weight. So, W plus W is the total new weight of the ship. Now, I shift that W, small w, to the final location, Now, go back to the original formula, shifting of weight, W into D divided by W plus W, the final weight of the ship, So, now we go on to the next one. So, now what happens when you are discharging a weight? You saw the kind of assumption we made. When we load a weight, you load it at the center of gravity of the ship and then shift it down so that a formula can be derived at. Now, when you discharge a weight, how are you going to derive this formula? Think on it for about, let us say, 30 seconds. Got it? Now, the only difference is, do not assume that you have discharged, you have moved the weight to the center of gravity and then thrown it overboard. You will not arrive at the formula. What you are going to think is, there was a weight at W, at G, which you have discharged. That will only change, what will it change? It will change the final displacement. So, the final displacement will come W minus W, W minus W. Now, okay, I have done that, I have discharged it. Now, I will replace that weight by moving this fellow here, the same weight through a distance D, So, the formula is what? W into D divided by final displacement, that is W minus W. So, it is all fine when you are dealing with single weights. What will happen when we do multiple weights? We will go on to the further slides. Now, the next slide comes on. So, this is your, when you move a weight, this is what happens. You move the weight from here, you discharge the weight from here, the GGF is in this direction. Now, we saw shifting of a weight either horizontally or vertically. But when you are shifting a weight diagonally, how are we going to come to the final center of gravity? So, I am moving a weight from here to here. We all know The center of gravity will move parallel to this, but how are we going to practically calculate? Very simple. Being smart mariners, we break it up into horizontal and vertical components. Horizontal and vertical components. First, assume the weight is moved like this, then it is moved like this. So, when a weight is moved from where my red dot is showing to here, what will happen to G? It will come like this. So, Gg dash in the horizontal direction is going to be W into dH divided by big W. Now, let that fellow go right up to its final position. That means you have now moved it from here to here, the G will move from here to here. The G will move from here to here. How to calculate that? GGF, B1GF will be equal to W into the vertical distance divided by the weight of the ship. And this is how we practically carry out numericals on board a ship. So, let us see, when you are loading a weight, how do we do the calculation? Actually, I have loaded a weight here. So, how do I do the calculation? After this, it is very simple for you to understand. It will move towards a direction in which the weight is loaded. But how do we actually carry out the calculations? What we are interested, again by horizontal and vertical components, horizontal and vertical components. So, what do we do? The vertical height of center of gravity of the ship, that is what is basically for stability purposes. Stability purposes. The horizontal shift in center of gravity of the ship will determine the listing of a ship. The listing of a ship. So, this is what we are going to calculate. All our kg vertical calculations will be based on this formula. Vertical shift will be weight into distance from the keel divided by W plus W. This is how we carry out the calculations. We take moments about the keel. So, students, let us have a recap. Just go through the slide. The only thing in our control is to ensure that the center of gravity of the ship is in its correct position, so that the ship is properly trimmed, not listed, and has got very good positive stability. That means she will not capsize however much the ship is going to roll or pitch due to rough weather. So, how do we do it? By loading the ship, different cargoes in different compartments properly, distributing the weights by proper calculations, by distributing the ballast water of the ship suitably, by distributing the fuel oil and fresh water and other consumables on the ship suitably. It's not as simple as that, but 80%, yes, that's what it is. 20% we will leave it for a little later. The vertical position of the center of gravity is measured from the keel. It is called kg. The transverse position of the center of gravity is measured from the center line of the ship to port or starboard. The longitudinal position of center of gravity is measured either from midship or from the aft perpendicular, and it is called LCG, longitudinal center of gravity. We go to the next slide. This is an important slide. We will be concentrating only on this aspect in this slide. Stability against capsizing. It depends what is the distance of various weights as measured vertically from the keel. Most of these distances are already available in the booklet. The keel is the reference axis. The total vertical moments of all these weights about the keel divided by the weight of the ship will give the vertical center of gravity of the ship. The wording sounds very complicated, but the calculations are very simple as we go on to the next slide. We consider only the vertical distance between the ship's bottom, called the keel plate, and the particular weight. Then we take moments about the keel plate, algebraically add all the moments and find the final moment about the keel. Then the final moment divided by the final weight of the ship will give you the final kg. Again, nothing like going back to your physics, what we all learnt, moment about the point O, moment about the point O. Just go through the slide carefully. What is the question you all had in physics? When I add 600 plus 5000 plus 40 and then put it all by one single weight, where should that weight hang? From the point of origin, from the point of origin. So this is what we all did in your physics, possibly 8th standard or 9th standard. The initial stages of stability, the calculation is going to be the same based on the same principle. So what did you do? You took moment about the point O, 600 into 2 plus 5000 into 7 plus 40 into 12, and the entire total divided by 600 plus 5000 plus 40, and that gave you a result of 6.504 meters. This is nothing new to you. So how do we apply this to the ship? Now we go to the next slide. So what do we have to find out? You have loaded 40 kilograms, 40 tons here. You have loaded 600 tons here. The original weight of the ship acting from center of gravity is 5000 tons. After doing all this loading, what will be the final kg, vertical kg? We are not interested in the horizontal component, but only the vertical component. So how do we do it? Take moments about the keel. This is what it is. So initial weight 5000 into 7, 35,000 ton meter. The rest is all simple. This diagram is exactly what it was before. Just go through that. So 440 into 12 plus 7 into 5000 plus 2 into 600 the entire vertical moment divided by 40 plus 5000 plus 600, 6.504 is the final result. 6.504 meters is the final result. For some of you, you may have a little difficulty in making a parallel between what you learnt in your physics and what is talked about in the last slide. Just imagine the chip is 90 degrees and the weights are acting like this. The weights are acting like this. This diagram is more simple to understand. As for the initial stages, now we go to the next slide. Okay, students, now watch even more carefully, because I am going to give you certain what I would call as golden tips in all your future stability calculations. Use the sign convention. Use the sign convention. Now the question is, what happens if you are going to load and discharge weights? Multiple loads, multiple discharge. The same logic applies, except that all things which are loaded, put it as plus, all things which are discharged, put it as minus. So for an example, nothing like an example. Suppose instead of loading this 600 tons, I have actually discharged the 600 tons. So how will this calculation change? Think on it. I repeat, instead of loading the 600, I have discharged the 600 tons. Now what will be this number? Simple. Put a minus here. Put a minus here. Discharged means minus. Minus into plus is minus. So minus 1200 is a vertical moment. Rest is all very simple. Rest is all very simple. So 7.721 meters is your final kg. I can have 100 weights here. I can put 100 cargoes inside and take 200 cargoes outside. It makes no difference. The calculation is same and simple. Now, look at this brown slide. Use tabular form. Always use tabular form. Use sign convention. Same policy holds good for list calculations with one addition. All distances from 4.5 center line to starboard treat as plus, and distances to port treat as minus. That means this column will also have plus and minus for list calculations. But for kg calculations, this column will always be plus. And just remember, plus into minus is equal to minus, and minus into minus is equal to plus. Once you have this basic discipline, kg calculations and list calculations, you are through. Trim calculations, we follow a little different method, but the principle is the same. Instead of taking moments about the keel, you will be taking moments about the after perpendicular, That's all the difference. So work with lot of examples. Several textbooks give you several examples, exercises. I had also given some exercises, possibly later on I will be giving. The more the merrier. They add to joy. The next lessons will be on transverse stability, which will take you to a little higher level, and that is the only concept which, if you understood the basics, believe me, shearing force, bending moments, dynamical stability, angle of roll, free surface effect, second moment of inertia, volumetric calculations, Simpson's rules, all of them follow the basic discipline what I have pointed out in these previous slides, especially the last slide. If you practice, make it part of your bloodstream at this stage, then stability will be like playing a game, not a big task. And that is my stoppage for your future lessons. Thank you.